Greetings, my fellow Narcadians, as I, Talsar Gelden, Master of the Narcadian Order, and welcome to my Saturday stream. Don't really have many people in here in the chat room tonight. Zygrade is here, although he is just going to be observing things, so I think what I'm going to do is start off with some Doom 3. It's been a few weeks since I last played that, and I've been meaning to get back into it. So this should be a good opportunity, and we will see who else joins us in the meantime. So let me get that all set up. Other than that, I hope everyone is doing well. I picked up quite a few things off of the Steam sale. Mostly, it was finishing up collecting DLC for various games. I also picked up some new games as well to play. Okay, now why won't this let me minimize? Oh, I know why. Shit. I know why. I was using the wrong executable. I had forgotten that I had set up there's a special executable I have for Doom 3 BFG. So, because I use a modded version of it. Which I'm surprised I don't have a fucking shortcut for that set up somewhere, but whatever. Oh yeah, let me get Zygrade back in here. Oh, alright, I'm back. I like honey mustard. Usually, I either use it on sandwiches or there's a place near me that they used to be an Arthur Treacher's, like a fish restaurant. It's similar to like Long John Silver's, you know. Okay. Now they're called Captain Arthur's, but they sell they have really good chicken. So I always get chicken and shrimp, and they have a really good honey mustard dipping sauce I like to use. So. Okay, why is that not showing up? Oh, there it is. Now it is. Had to click on the menu. Alright, let's hop back in here and see where we last left off. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, though, I need to stop that. For any of you who are wondering about my intro music, or the music I was using, is called Ozar Ministorum, I think that's what it's called. Midrashim. Ozar Midrashim. It's done by it's been used as the theme music for Legacy of Kain series, which is one of my I love that game series, so that's why which is why I love using it. But it's done by a group called Information Society, and if you've ever listened to the original version of that song, what you listen to there is like the back half of the song, which is all instrumental. The first half is very different. Oh, you never played Legacy of Kain series? It's I like yeah. It centers around a character called Kane, who the storyline involves a lot of time travel, so it gets very convoluted and but he was originally a human who was who was out out and about, left the tavern and was killed. Just a bunch of people just attacked him in the middle of the night and they stabbed him through the chest. He he woke up in hell, chained to a couple of pillars overlooking a lake of fire, and this skeletal-looking figure walked up behind him. This character was a necromancer called Mortanius, and he offered Kane a chance to return to the mortal world to seek revenge on those who killed him. Oh, hey, Nocturnal's in the chat. Yay! Um, to get revenge on those who killed him. Well, the only way to bring him back was to turn him into a vampire, which initially Kane hated. But over time, he began to revel in his new power. So that's basically lots of stuff went down in the first game. All right, what we got going on here? Yeah. What do you mean? What did you just walk into? I was talking about the Legacy of Kain series. Mm, it's an action RPG. Lots of action. Um, some of the games like the Soul River games had a lot of puzzle solving, which they later took out in the later games in the series. A lot of moving blocks around to complete puzzles, stuff like that. Um, but the thing that people like myself really like about this series was the story. Kane, the yeah, Kane being such a uh, obviously a vampire, not necessarily a good guy, but it's just something about him that he was your classic anti-hero type of thing. Uh, Isaac is what when someone from our world gets like put into like a fantasy world, some shit like that. Okay. All right. I need to go get some health. Aha. Cougars. Oh, okay. Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. I, hmm. 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 Well, that was rude. You destroyed their communications. Um. Uh, mm. Mm. Hmm. Uh, Nocturnal, I'm going to have to kind of disagree with you on that. On this being the weakest Doom game. Um, I like this version of this game. Mm, ME1? Let's see here. Yeah, which is what I'm playing right now because they fix a lot of the problems from the first Doom. Uh huh. Yeah, it didn't make a sense to a lot of people. That's why a lot of people made mods. Okay, I guess I'm not done on this level. Um, and it would make sense that I mean, even today's uniforms have a pocket you can put it or something you can strap a flashlight onto. So, well, this character isn't wearing a helmet. Yeah, that are you not hearing the game sound? Oh, I know why. Maybe. Oh, did I have that? Hold on here. I Let me turn the game volume back up here. Alright, one second. Let me see what's going on here.
Hey, let me turn the game volume. Alright, one second. What's going on?
Just checking. I guess it's working now. Don't know why that wasn't working initially. But I think it's fixed. I think it's fixed now.
Don't know why that wasn't working initially.
Can you?
Yeah.
Is there sound now, Steve?
What do you mean? What did you just walk into? I was talking about the Legacy of Kain series. It's an action RPG. A lot of action.
You're doing your I don't know, your audio is being worked from your microphone.
Like the Soul River games had a lot of puzzle solving, which they later took out to the later games of the series.
Probably when I was listening, you're probably hearing when I was checking the audio from my stream.
But the action,
Maybe I didn't mute my microphone, which I should have done.
What I liked about this series was the story. Kain being such a obviously.
Oh, hold on. Did I not turn the volume down? There we go. Haha. That's what's going on. I turned the sound on my phone down. So you're probably hearing my phone. Alright, where's this guy coming from? Above me.
What time is it? Oh, it's only 5? Well, 5:22.
Another one of those buggers. More? How many times I gotta put you down, old man?
You know what I find funny?
What's that?
The new Doom games basically say that the ending of Doom Repercussions of Evil is technically out of canon.
Repercussions of Evil?
Yes, it's an old shitposty fanfic that exists about Doom that is the most memed about thing in Doom besides the Doom comic.
Not familiar with it.
I'm surprised considering you've been on the internet far longer than I have. So, Doom Repercussions of Evil is a fan fiction that was written in '02. And it's A, very poorly written, B, it's only about maybe, let me see, let me check, let me use...
Okay, so I just did a circle here.
Let me use Microsoft Word. It's only 211 words long. It is very bad, but very funny. And the ending is basically this. Okay, here's the ending. "No, I must kill the demons," he shouted. The radio said, "No, John, you are the demons." And then John was a zombie.
That sounds bad.
It is bad. But basically, it's in Doom Eternal.
Well, yeah, I know in the DLC for Doom Eternal, he fights an alternate version of himself.
Well, he technically fights the Doom 64 Marine.
But yeah, I watched like all the videos from the. Okay, now I'm going up. Okay, all the videos from Doom, so I know what the story is. You know how. I think it's kind of cool that the Doom character you're playing is from the original Doom games.
Yes. But yeah, his whole thing is the local man too angry to die.
Like, I was watching this, okay, you know what, fuck it, I'm just see how you survive that. Oh, shit.
I take it they survived it.
No, what wasn't, no, he died, it was what came after him was the problem. It was a zombie marine with a shield, so I just used a chainsaw. After I killed him, 2 cacodemons showed up, so I'm a bit low in health right now. But I was talking about there's this guy on YouTube. I think his name is like Wolf Lord Rowe, something like that. He does a lot of Warhammer 40k videos, and maybe it was, I don't know if it was him or not. Maybe it's just a similar channel I'm thinking of. They're talking about what would happen if the Doomslayer went into Warhammer 40k. And one thing he said was immediately Khorne would get a huge hard-on.
Yeah, I think I've seen that video, and yeah, I kind of agree. If Doomslayer even entered anywhere in the 40k universe, Khorne would immediately see this big beefy motherfucker whose only goal is to kill shit and go, "Finally, I have found my true champion." Then he would immediately shit himself because he will now learn that, oh no, my true champion wants to kill everything I stand for.
Which, frankly, I don't really see Khorne having a problem with.
I mean, Khorne's whole thing is he cares not where the blood flows so long as it flows.
Right.
So that's a double-edged sword for him, because I'm pretty sure Doomslayer is one of those dudes who could probably kill a demon in the 40k universe and actually have it be permanently dead. Because the thing about killing demons in 40k is they don't really die so much as they just get sent back to the warp.
Yeah, it's kind of like what happens in in Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder when a non-native outsider, like a demon, dies in a mortal plane, it gets sent back to its home plane for a while. It's a similar principle.
Right.
But there is the only way to permanently kill a demon is to kill it in its home realm.
Right, or if it's in a different realm, sever it from its home realm and then kill it. I don't know if you can do that with demons in 40k, but I know you can do that with demons in Pathfinder and D&D, where if you use like a specific spell, you can basically prevent them from going back to their home realm and then murder them, and they'll be dead permanently. But, yeah. yeah, the Doomslayer would definitely. The first thing would happen. It really depends on where he lands, huh?
Yeah, it would.
Because if he lands in an Imperial world, I mean, they probably wouldn't touch him. But they definitely also wouldn't know what to do with him until they could figure out, oh, this dude is an anti-demon machine. Let's send him to the Grey Knights.
Like, imagine if he showed up on Cadia during the 13th Black Crusade.
There would be a bunch of very surprised Chaos Space Marines and a bunch of dead ones very soon afterwards. But it is an interesting thing. There was another video I saw, not by the guy you were mentioning. His name. This is a different Warhammer 40k YouTuber. His name is Pancreas No Work.
Okay, I think I've heard of him.
Right, he has the same problem that me and you have.
Yeah, diabetic.
Although his form of diabetes is the type 1 kind. Anyway, he did 3 videos called Halo Hammer. I think I told you about this. Where he compared 3 armies in the Halo universe and said which ones would do well in Halo. To quote, the Covenant would do pretty okay. Specifically, he said the Covenant would be a great faction for 40k because they would essentially be like the Tau, but better. And I agree with him.
Well,
he said.
Well, the key difference between, let's say, the Tau and the Covenant is anti-human.
Right.
That's the key difference. The Tau don't really have any strong opinions relating to humanity.
No, they just wish that humanity would stop being idiots.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. He said the Forerunners would basically dominate the 40k universe. And I agree with him because the Forerunners are essentially like the War in Heaven Necrons or the Catan, but on crack.
I don't know if they would be. They might be more analogous to the old ones.
No, not really. I use that specifically because the people who created the Forerunners are analogous to the old ones. Because there was a group that came before the Forerunners called the Primordials. To give you an idea of how busted and broken the Primordials were, one of their standard weapons threw galaxies at you.
Huh.
Yeah, that was just a piece of technology they had lying around. And the only reason the Forerunners won against them is because it's implied that the Primordials let them. And keep in mind, the Forerunners are very powerful. As in, one time, they just decided to tilt the galaxy's axis just to see if they could. Also, coincidentally, you want to know what the Primordials became after they got destroyed by the Forerunners?
So apparently Nocturnal agrees with you that the Necrons were definitely not... the Forerunners were Necrons on coke.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're very powerful. If they were to show up in the 40k galaxy as it is today, in the 40th millennium, they would dominate because... A, they have what is essentially Dark Age of Humanity technology, but on steroids. B, their technology isn't busted and broken. And C, they are actually very powerful.
Okay. Here, Nocturnal, what do you mean about the Flood? What do you mean? What about the Flood?
Oh, that's the other faction that the guy made a video about. the Flood would destroy the 40K universe completely.
Really?
Yes. Here's the thing about the Flood. The Flood we see in the games is a very minor outbreak of the Flood. Like, they have yet... The Flood, at its most powerful stage, can literally warp physics itself. Like, to give you an idea of how powerful the Flood... See, the Flood are basically the primordials after they got turned into weird space fungus. And as revenge, they decided they wanted to go devour the rest of the universe. And it's heavily implied by the time the Forerunners in the ancient humanity meet the Flood in the ancient past of Halo, they had already devoured another galaxy.
I mean, they don't really... So, they're kind of like the Tyranids.
Oh no, they are way worse than the Tyranids. For one thing, the Tyranids can't use you if you're a corpse. The Flood don't give a fuck. Also, unlike the Tyranids, every body the Flood absorbs, that part, they get more knowledge. So let's say if the Flood absorbs, like, a Custody, or a Commissar, or an Inquisitor, or a Space Marine, it now has access to all the knowledge that one individual had.
Well, yeah, I do recall they had that ability, because that's how they learned. We learned that in the first game when they absorbed Admiral Keyes. Captain Keyes.
But yeah. So yeah, they will strip your mind for everything that it's worth to use against you. Also, they can literally turn AI against their masters. Using this thing known as the logic plague, which essentially is just them talking to an AI for X amount of time, and then convincing that AI that they should work for the Flood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because the Forerunners had that happen to them. The AI they had running their war effort against the Flood, Mendicant Bias, spent essentially what amounted to about 1,000 years talking to it, and then the Flood basically convinced Mendicant Bias, hey, you should totally go against your masters, and he did.
Nocturnal, I'm not familiar with the Vex.
They're from Destiny, I think.
Okay, I mean... Yeah, I do. I do recall that Nocturnal does play Destiny 2, so that's probably what he's talking about.
I never played Destiny. I only know about them because of
Ironbite. Yeah.
But yeah, the Flood would destroy the 40K universe, especially considering it's very hard to get rid of the Flood once they reach critical mass. Mm-hmm. And if they land on the right planet, they will essentially...
If they land on a high world...
If they land on a high world or any world that's far enough away from the Imperium that they can get access to ships, then there's nothing that'll stop them. Mm. That's also why the Flood would destroy the Star Wars galaxy. Because the Star Wars galaxy has FTL that is too easy to use. Like, when even a starfighter has limited FTL capabilities, then, it's not a good day for the Flood, because part of the Flood strategy is building enough biomass and then sending ships to other worlds to go infect them to make more Flood.
Oh. Flood plus orc equal danger. Yeah.
Yeah, the Flood would love the orcs because the orcs would see the Flood as the best thing to fight. And then they would have an unlimited amount of biomass to feed off of.
I mean, both of them are pretty similar in composition.
Not really.
I mean, the orcs are fungoid. they would probably be able to easily take over the Orc consciousness.
Probably. And once that happens, all hell breaks loose. And pray to God, pray to whatever God exists that if they do land in the 40K universe, they don't land on someplace like Kachatan.
Kachan.
Yeah, you know, the jungle planet that everyone hates to go to.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with Kachan, or Kana. It's either Kanachan or Kanakan. I don't know. There's a couple different ways of pronouncing it.
I thought it was pronounced Kachatan.
No, it's. I don't think so.
But yeah, they would essentially, if they landed there, it would be not very good for the Imperium. Because that place has a lot of stuff that if it ate the Flood would basically turn into a snowball effect. Like the one places that the Flood, that humanity doesn't want the Flood landing on in the 40K universe is a hive world, or a world that's far enough from any Imperial patrols that the Flood can basically build up its strength without anyone caring. And considering there are a lot of worlds that the Imperium
Nocturnal said I thought it was pronounced Florida.
No. Kachatan or whatever the fuck you pronounce it is more like Australia on meth. Just full of nothing but dangerous creatures that want to eat you or destroy you. And just the natives who live there for forever and just don't give a fuck. Like, have you ever talked to an Aboriginal? Because I have. They're pretty cool.
No, I've not had the opportunity.
I've had it once at an airport. But yeah. The only other faction I think that would destroy. Yeah, the Flood is a scary faction when you look up their abilities. Like, one of my favorite things I learned about the Flood is just the fact that it's heavily implied. Not implied, it's stated that the Flood basically tricked humanity into thinking they had a cure for it, and then revealing that no, they didn't. The Flood is scary. It is one of the few parasitic organisms in fiction that, if it existed, it would be the scariest thing to run across.
Damn it.
Because if the Flood were to show up on modern day Earth, we would be fucked.
Oh yeah, no.
We would be fucked so many ways to Sunday that it would not be funny. Hell, there are very few universes that if the Flood were to show up, they wouldn't get their asses kicked by them. Like, Star Wars, like I said, would get absolutely fucking bodied. Because the one thing that the Flood loves is having quick FTL. And while Flip Space is pretty quick, it's not as quick as hyperdrives from Star Wars.
Yeah, this is true. Star Wars does have... Well, the only key difference is the warp is that sometimes you can arrive before you leave.
Right. But that would actually benefit the Flood more than anything. Also, slipspace is what's interesting is slipspace is sort of like the warp, except you don't go through a hell dimension.
Alright, what am I doing back here? I think I gotta turn around somewhere.
Another thing that makes the Flood dangerous is just the fact that they adapt to their enemies. They aren't like the Tyranids, who less adapt and more just combat their enemies. Like, I'm probably not explaining it well, but compared to, like, if you were to throw the Imperial Guard at the Flood would immediately figure out the Imperial Guard tactics and then to counter them completely. Whereas the Tyranids would just not do that. Also, the Imperial Guard would be the worst enemy to throw at the Flood anyway. Because, you know, nothing says bad idea like sending human waves attacks against an enemy that loves getting bodies.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Also, a funny fact about the Flood, if you breathe in the atmosphere that they're in, you get infected.
Mm.
The Tyranids don't have that.
Well... Okay, so what am I missing now?
But yeah, and I know I keep harping on just how dangerous they are, but literally they are so dangerous that they literally had to glass half of fucking Africa just to make sure that those fuckers didn't spread. Like, can you imagine any other enemy where you have to glass half a continent just to make sure it doesn't spread to the other parts of the world?
Well, I mean, you saw me play Mecha Knights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, think of the Reds as something like that. Okay, where the fuck am I going? Apparently... I need to get to a monorail station, I recall that, but where the fuck is it?
But, other than that, he's done a bunch of other stuff. Like, he goes into detail about various armies it's called Do or Don't. Like, Do or Don't, the Adeptus Mechanicus, Do or Don't, Auric War Clans, Do or Don't, Tau Empire, etc.
Yeah.
He also says that, he also did a series that explained why the best faction to be in the Warhammer Fantasy universe is ogres.
And why is that?
Because they just don't give a fuck. Only thing ogres care about is their next meal, killing their next meal, and killing the thing that prevents them from getting their next meal. Tis a very simple life to live. And I agree. His most recent video was about Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium.
Natural. I mean, yeah, that is a good point. They do have the exterminators available to them, which could use to slow down the flow of the Flood. But once they get off world and start spreading, at that point, you know, how many planets are you willing to glass? You know,
right? And the thing is, the Flood beat an empire that was 10 times more destructive than the Imperium ever was. Because a lot of people don't realize that the main gun of a Forerunner Forerunner ship could supernova a star. That's just the standard armament for their regular ships.
Now, I would say maybe the Forerunners would probably be on par with humanity during the Dark Age of technology.
Yeah, they were about what and what.
I would say their technology was probably about on equal footing. Although humanity during the Dark Age of technology did rely a lot on AI, so that might, if the Flood is able to corrupt AI, that may also become a problem. Alright, let's see here. Where the fuck am I going here? It was said that the... okay, let's go to satellite control. It was said that during the Dark Age of technology, humanity could do some really amazing things. So,
Yeah.
that is an interesting question. Yeah, how would the Chaos Gods react to the flood?
They would not like them.
Yeah, probably because they would have they don't have souls. I don't think they have souls, so they couldn't really do anything with them. Nurgle would probably be pretty intrigued with them, but as far as like Sonesh, Korn, and Zeech, like definitely for like Sonesh, she would not want anything to do with them at all, just because there's no joy, there's no emotions there for her to play upon.
Right. The Flood are essentially one giant mind that only cares about eating stuff.
Korn would be interested only in as far as the bloodshed. Zeech, I would say in that case would be a wild card.
Zeech would love the Flood just because the Flood is just as clever, if not more clever than him.
But they would also have to realize that if the Flood take over, they got the Chaos Gods got nothing.
The guy theorized in the video I was telling you about that the Flood might actually create their own Chaos God. Because remember, a massive death of souls usually causes Chaos Gods to form.
Well, that's not true. It's not a massive death of souls, because that's not how Slaanesh was created.
Well, Slaanesh was created via the murder fucking.
It's a huge. Chaos Gods are made by a huge. Since everything in the warp is based upon what thoughts, feelings, emotions, that sort of thing. If enough people are concentrating on a single thing enough, it gains more power in the warp. And this is how the other Chaos Gods came about. Since the first three were created during the War in Heaven, and Slaanesh was created later on because of, you're right, all the murder fucking. So because so many Eldar, and Eldar have more powerful souls than humans do, even though there are
more humans.
Even though there are more humans, they're less powerful. So humanity is at the point where they cannot yet create. Gork and Mork are an example of a not true, yeah. But do Gork and Mork exist in the warp though? I don't know if they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, do they?
Yes. There are several entities that exist in the warp who don't have as much power as the Chaos Gods. Gork and Mork are two of them.
Because the orcs, the orcs are their powers are pretty weird.
The orcs are basically the epitome of clap if you believe, and it shall come to you. Pretty much.
And the reason why I was talking about how like Eldar seem to have like more powerful souls versus humans, because the Eldar, who were probably less populous back then than humans were able to create a Chaos God. Humans now are way more populous than Eldar are, and yet humans have not been able to create a Chaos God yet. And the only one they would create at this point would be the Emperor.
Whatever. Right. The Emperor, it's implied that if the Emperor were to ever die, no one really is sure what the hell would happen. There's like a couple of theories.
The thing is with the Emperor, though, he is a perpetual.
Right.
So there's a couple of ideas floating around. Either he would regenerate, or he would become a Chaos God himself. I don't. He would rip a new Eye of Terror. It's because the Webway Gate, Psychic Backlash, and the Webway Gate is just what the fuck am I doing here?
It'd be funny if all three of them happened, huh?
Where the fuck am I going?
I would not be surprised if all three of them were to happen. Like, the Emperor somehow dies, he regenerates, but part of him becomes a new Chaos God.
Okay, that must have been where I came from. That way it's collapsed, so I can't go back. Okay.
And the psychic backlash of him dying finally again would basically create a new Eye of Terror on Terra. But it's an interesting thought exercise. I never really think about that kind of stuff, just because, you know, I'm not as big of a Warhammer 40k fan as I am a fan of a lot of other stuff.
Okay, so
it doesn't help that the 40k universe is very hard to get into.
Yeah, it can be very intimidating because you have so much lore to unload. Now, my first okay, let's go back to the garage. My first I before I played this game, I had always had the kind of interest in Warhammer 40k, but the first like Warhammer 40k game I had played was Fire Warrior.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you believe I got into the tabletop before I played any of the video games?
Yeah, I never was interested in getting into the tabletop, only because, you know, back then I didn't have a shit ton of money, so just buying a whole bunch of miniatures and then having to paint them. Even today, I don't want to get involved in the tabletop aspect because of that whole thing of needing to be able to buy the miniatures and to paint them. It was just way too much work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Fire Warrior was my first time playing Warhammer 40k video game. Okay, so there's nothing here in the garage for me to do. I can't go out through the airlock. Where the fuck am I going? How do I get off this fucking level?
I find it interesting that you play like one of the weirder 40k games as your first.
Yeah, I mean, at the time it was the only. There weren't many options back then for a 40k game, so I mean it was a first-person shooter, and before then there weren't many. Like I said, I think you had Space Hulk was on the PC and stuff like that. But it was way more accessible since it was a PlayStation game. So okay, maybe I go this way. Okay, maybe fucking finally found the fucking exit. Son of a bitch. But yeah, it was way more accessible since it was on the PlayStation. So that's how I really got in. You know, my first real big exposure into the lore.
I will say this: I probably like Warhammer Fantasy more than I like 40k, just for the simple fact is that fantasy actually has, you know, good stakes, and it isn't just full of assholes all the time. And while yes, they do, one of the main armies is a fantasy race I can't stand, I don't have to deal with them.
And which army is that?
Dwarves. I hate dwarves.
Oh yeah.
Don't know why I hate dwarves so fucking much. They are the only fantasy race I can't stand. Every other fantasy race, I like them. Even the weirder ones. I just can't stand those sons of bitches. I think it's just because every time I've seen them portrayed in any piece of media, they're always the same and they're never really particularly fun or interesting.
Oh, Pinky Demon. Hello.
The only thing that the
shotgun.
Warhammer Fantasy dwarves have going for them is that weird big book of grudges thing they got.
Yeah, Nocturnal. I'll send you an invite to my Discord. I'll DM it to you.
I don't that's the only thing Like I said, dwarves are the only thing that I don't particularly like in any fantasy race.
Alright, I sent you an invite. Hey, Nocturnal, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
So, I'm on the 40...
Nocturnal here is in. He's part of the group I'm in who play 5e on
D&D.
Wednesdays. Yeah.
I used to play. Well, no, I didn't play 5e. I played 4th edition.
Yeah, Wednesday's campaign. Oh boy, out of all the campaigns I've been in so far, that one's kind of the wildest.
Sounds like it, based on the stories that Brett has told us about it.
Considering the person who's DMing it, basically has allowed me to invent my own country just off the cuff. Yeah.
So I'm on the 40k meme subreddit, and it asks which space empire that could enter the 40k universe without being overpowered or being underpowered. And it showed the Covenant, the Reapers, the Frieza's Empire, and those weirdos from Invisible or whatever the fuck it is. The thing that animated show that I don't care to watch because it's too bloody and I don't want to ever watch it.
Invincible. Oh, I see. The one with J.K. Simmons. Okay, that one. Okay. Now I would like to throw my hat into that list. Yeah. So Destiny, a bunch of these other properties I can understand why people don't get into it. I understand why. There's like a few that I could throw in there. Probably the Hive and Cabal would be good ones.
What the fuck?
Considering one would probably decimate like half of the galaxy. Yeah, I can see it. Could see those two happening. Considering one decidedly. Oh, guess what? This capital ship, they call it the Dreadnoughts. Yeah, dude, blow it up. Half the system goes with it.
That does remind me of an interesting thing I saw on the Who Would Win subreddit. Someone said their friend said that the Forerunners would lose against the Reapers, and I'm like, is your friend smoking crack?
Yeah, I don't know how that would have happened.
I mean, it's debatable, honestly.
No, it isn't really.
I mean, it depends on how many Reapers there are.
It doesn't matter how many Reapers there are. You want to know how small a Reaper is compared to a Forerunner ship?
Oh, I thought you were saying the Reapers would win. Yeah, no, the Forerunners would definitely fucking crack. Would definitely fucking defeat them. Like, no fucking problem.
Right, like, to give you an idea, the standard issue-sized Reaper, Harbinger-sized one, is small compared to the Mantle's Approach, the Didax flagship.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, I see that point. Now, if, like I was saying, Cabal or Hive from Destiny would fit in there. First of all, the Cabal would be comparable to the Imperium if, the Imperium had bigger guns.
I'm going to put it on the Council of Masters, but, oops. I almost copy and pasted the Doom Repercussions of Evil fanfic because I still had that in my copy and paste thing.
That's a little bit of a minor beef with me is ship sizes in different sci-fi franchises. Well,
with the Forerunners, it makes sense because they had like access to some really broken as shit technology.
No, my favorite sci-fi franchise of all time is Star Trek. But when you compare their ship sizes to any other franchise, their ships are small.
Yeah. Like, so I posted it on the Council of Masters.
Yeah.
I don't know if
No, I mean, Nocturnal, I haven't even had time to even set him up as an acolyte yet, but he wouldn't have access to the Council of Masters regardless.
Okay, then I'll just send it to him on Discord itself.
Yeah, let me see, look what you see you post. I see, okay, size of, okay, the first Death Star, okay, 160 kilometers. Halo's mantles approach 371 kilometers. Okay.
And of course, at the bottom, way at the bottom, Mass Effect Sovereign Class Reaper, 2 kilometers.
So a Sovereign Class, a Sovereign Class Reaper would be on par on size with a Borg cube, because I believe a Borg cube is 2 kilometers square.
All right. So yeah,
or cubed rather.
Mantle's approach. To give you an idea of how big the Mantle's approach, it was sort of messing up Earth's gravity when it entered into our gravity well in Halo 4. Actually, there's an even better diagram to give you an idea of how big the damn thing is. The main city, High Charity, is about as big as the Mantle's approach. And keep in mind that High Charity is a stinking space station sized city. Actually, the Mantle's approach is actually slightly bigger than High Charity. At least in terms of that.
It's like 5 miles bigger. It's only like 5 miles bigger. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, the Mantle's approach is a beast, and that's the flagship of the Didact.
But okay, what the hell is with the Forerunner's ship design? Jesus Christ! What the hell? That does not look like a ship. That looks like a crystal. It looks like an Ahamkara egg. Don't ask me what that is. It'll take too long to explain.
The Forerunners, their ship designs are all over the place, because there's another diagram that shows some of their other ship designs. Like, then you have things like the Key ship, which is the ship that was in the middle of High Charity, and the one that you see at the end of in Halo 3. Then you have their other ships. They didn't seem to have a consistent design.
I thought I heard a Pinky in here.
I don't think they had a consistent design mantra with the Forerunners. Which I guess makes sense, because their ships. The one thing, Forerunners, their ships aren't made of, like, regular materials.
Oh, come on.
This is why... Okay. Yeah, no. I've seen what Forerunner architecture looks like. Yeah, it looks like, Eptic's trophy designs from Mass Effect, and colored them and had some orange highlights instead of green.
The best way to describe the Forerunner technology is, imagine if you gave unlimited power to a bunch of nerds who don't give a fuck.
This is why I like Destiny ship designs. They're actually fucking consistent. Like Hive ships looking like some Gothic castles up in here.
Only the Forerunners seem to have an inconsistent ship design. All the other ships in the Halo universe have consistent designs. Like if you look up Halo human ships, you'll notice that they all have this sort of guns. They all look like guns and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing with...
If you go look at the Covenant ships, they kind of have this weird organic look to them. They're all purple.
Yep.
Only the Forerunners didn't have an inconsistent look, and even the newest faction, the Banished, have a consistent.
Well, yeah, they're basically Covenant, but red.
They're more akin to. They're not Covenant, but red. They're more. I don't know how you would describe the Banished, because they're more like orcs. I don't know who the Scavenger faction is in any of the things, because that's what the Banished are. They're mercenaries and scavengers.
It's not working.
Coincidentally, they also defeated humanity's best flagship by just ramming it.
Well, yeah, of course. How else do you defeat something with that many guns? You either ram into it, or turn into a beachhead, using an example here from Destiny, because that's happened. Because, fuck it, why not? Use it as a beachhead. Using it as a landing speed, and invade the rest of the ship, which has the design architecture of, fucking Hive architecture is fucking nuts. Kind of nutty. Is a bit nutty, because on the one hand, kinda looks like a castle, yeah. On the other hand, also looks like it's organic. Like, it's very curved architecture, mixed with a bunch of Gothic spires and such. Like, I can pull up a picture right now of the Dreadnought, if you want me to.
Sure.
Hold on.
But, I think the best ship design I've seen in the Halo universe is the Infinity, because it's just so fucking cool. And I also just love the fact that the first time we see it, its first on-screen kill is just ramming through a Covenant ship like it's nobody's fucking business. Coincidentally, there's a video on YouTube, with DMX's "Move Bitch Get Out the Way" playing as it hits the fucking Covenant ship.
There we go.
Looks like a Borg cube.
Yeah, it's diamond shaped. And, yeah, it kinda looks like a fucking pillar. But not exactly cute. It's not exactly a cute.
Damn it! Fuck. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Where are you?
The more funny bit about the Dreadnought is, yeah, it's actually a fucking, it's a reality paradox, in a sense, because somehow, some way, the person who made it decided, okay, well, this is gonna be my moving fortress, gotta make this one part in materium reality, part physical reality. And fucking, I don't want to get into Destiny lore, because that would take hours to explain, even summarize, because of how much there is. But it's effectively a physical paradox sort of sense, because Destiny has another fucking realm underneath the physical one, and that one is a whole lot of bullshit wrapped up into lots of things. And so the person who made it, Oryx, decided, well, I can only physically die in one place in this realm, so might as well make that part of that realm that's mine into a ship.
I've been on and off working on my own science fiction story since I was 14. It has never gone anywhere because I very much am one of those people who looks at something they're working on and then goes, it's not good. I'm very reticent of that, and I hate it very much.
Oh, right. I should probably show you what it looks like right next to stack. Just for a bit of a size judgment. Like, it's big enough big enough to show up in the rings of Saturn.
Wow. You know what I think is
Oh, it must have been the barrel.
That also reminds me of a thing. Of a thing I don't particularly like. So I don't know if Brett has told you or not, but has he told you about the fact that I don't like The Expanse?
I don't.
No,
oh, wait.
No, I've not told him that.
No, I know what you're talking. Is that like a fucking? Is that a sci-fi show?
Yes, it's on Amazon. It's based on a book series.
Oh yeah. No, because I've never met you, nor does Talsar over here talk about mostly any other thing he does. No one's.
Well, I don't like The Expanse because it is A, very boring, and B, it doesn't have aliens.
Oh, yeah, of course. Fucking, you gotta have aliens. If you're doing space, you either have aliens.
Well, I mean, in The Expanse, they're still stuck in the solar system, so they haven't left yet.
I don't care! It's so fucking boring!
Or just make it good enough so that you don't need aliens to make a plot good.
Well, they have a really good plot, and they do kind of have aliens.
Just not fun aliens.
Oh god, that's even worse.
But here's the thing, I don't like The Expanse because A, it is science fiction that is stuck up its own fucking ass.
Well, so it's like Ender's Game, where it's just like, okay, okay, this is written weird, this is kind of written weirdly, and apparently space travel is pretty shit.
Yeah. If I don't like space travel, I mean, I just don't like The Expanse just because it's everything I hate about hard science fiction of the last couple of years, where everything has to be ultra serious and you can't have fun, and unless like it adheres to every law of physics, then you're not doing it correctly.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having some realism.
No, but here's the thing. I'm not looking into entertainment for realism. If I wanted realism, I would put on some pants. Granted, I'm wearing pajama pants, but I would put on some pants and some shoes and walk out the door. I don't come to fiction to get a dose of reality. I come to fiction to escape reality.
I see. So just to get you off a topic that isn't talking about something you hate. So, you ever heard of Warframe?
Yes, I've played it a bit, but never got into it.
Okay, so you want to know how they get around the whole issue of multiverse theory? Yeah, no, they did their own thing. They kind of did their own thing. It's called eternalism, where it's just like, yeah, everything happens. It's just straight up. Anything can happen. Anything has happened. Everything will happen, might happen, and can happen.
Oh, great! I can't go back.
Which is funny considering, well, which means, which also feeds into the fact that, yeah, Warframe as a game has some really funky lore. Like, for instance,
I know there's a planet that is just essentially nothing but debtors.
Yeah, no, Earth is pretty much, jungle and or kind of fucked by the point that the game takes place. Because apparently a race of a blue man group with long arms, I'm not joking, that decidedly fucked up and decided, okay, how do we get out of the situation? Got an idea. Go to the next system, Tau. Send some drones over. Send some robots over. Yeah. Said robots are very adapt very well to anything. So, yeah, crossing the void, which is how they use space, which is how they their version of space, which is how they fucking do the whole hyperdrive thing. Yes, they're doing the 40K thing. Only the void is kind of worse, in my opinion. Because it's like because it's like very shades of turquoise. Very much shades of turquoise. Also, they use a finger for a drive core.
A finger?
Yes.
What?
It's called the Revocard drive. It's one guy's finger. It's one guy's finger.
One guy's finger.
Like one guy specifically, one of his fingers, because my dude did some was a fucking void researcher and ended up getting his fingers cut off, or a different version of him got his fingers cut off. Yeah, trust me, this gets I'm not explaining this properly.
Or maybe I think don't be selling yourself short on that.
No, I'm explaining this.
Oh, those are homing missiles. You fucking cunt.
Because I have not explained to you. There is an entity in the void called the Man in the Wall, whose fingers got cut off. Technically speaking, yes, it's this sort of bullshit. It's this sort of shenanigans that's in Warframe, and the Man in the Wall is effectively just ever lurking, ever present, and is a jump scare. And so Mr. Wally, as most people, kind of is effectively a Lovecraftian deity because as a community, we don't know anything about him, as much as dude is really sketchy. 2, our player character made a deal with him. 3, by really sketchy, I mean, we don't know anything about him, and also he's literally known as the Man of the Wall, and lives in the void. We think so. Yeah. And
Still can't go back. Damn it.
And yes, I'm going out of that Warframe lore without adding any context, because adding as much context as it can, but not trying to spoil everything. Because
you don't have to worry about that with me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not playing Warframe at all.
Okay, so the fucking race of Blue Man group called the Orkin, like they're okay. Imagine for a second. There's a race of blue men, which we have not gotten explanation as to why they're blue, why they have one arm that's insanely longer than the other one. This has never brought up. They have never addressed this, nor have they brought it up. It's really weird. And so,
you said it's really weird twice.
Yes, because it is. And so it's just like, okay, the void is an extra dimension in the world, kind of like the center realm in Destiny. Only the analogy they use for Destiny is the universe is a stack of coins, and the center realm is under our coin. It's the coin under ours. That's how they explain that.
Oh, come on.
And in Warframe, it's just kind of like an extra dimension, sort of, that you can also visit. That you can also go through to travel to different points faster. Like the warp is like the warp in this sense, but unlike this sense, there's only like one void entity that we know of. His name is the Man of the Wall. That's his title, not his actual name. We don't know his actual name. For now, we know him as Wally, or the Man of the Wall. And like I've said before, he is sus. Really sus. To the point of, when he showed up in one quest, my dude's facial animations kind of wigged the fuck out when smiling.
It reminds me of a very funny thing that Lower Decks did for Star Trek, where it's heavily implied, well, not even heavily implied, it's just outright stated that the universe is on the back of a koala.
Yeah, I mean, the squirrel has it on the back of a turtle, so not that much.
What's interesting is that back of the koala thing might actually explain the mycelial network.
What are you talking about?
So I don't know. Yeah. Have you seen Lower Decks, Brett?
Yeah, I've seen Lower Decks.
So there's a scene in Lower Decks where a character ascends to a higher plane of existence. And in that scene, he says the entire universe is balanced on the back of a koala. Okay, I'm not done. So koalas grow fungus on their bodies. And the mycelial network is a giant fungus. Catch my drift?
Okay. Or it could just be the guy with tripping balls.
No, he literally ascended to a higher plane of existence. It's a whole plot point. I can show you. You've seen the clip probably. It's a scene with Tandy in it.
Okay.
Here it is. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm playing D2 right now, and think about the thing is, Destiny allows you to have really ridiculous names. So there's a guy in my lobby called Taxpayer. I mean, it isn't the funniest name I found. I have seen, but it is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, if you would, the universe being at the back of a koala sounds kind of ridiculous, but also kind of interesting.
But yeah, so I don't know. I have not watched Star Trek, the Star Trek with what's her name?
You're gonna have to be more specific. There's a lot of Star Treks.
The one that
Prodigy you're talking about? Oh, Discovery.
Yeah, but I remember the first season, one of the plot points was they were trying to test out a new form of FTL travel in the form of the mycelial network, correct?
Yeah.
So, like I said, koalas have fungus that grow on their body, specifically their fur.
The thing is, I mean, they at one point went into the mycelial network, and there were no fungus. I mean, there were no koalas.
Mycelial is fungus.
Oh, come on. This fucking level just keeps kicking my ass, and there's no fucking health.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
I can't help but laugh about the suffering, man.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, Zagard, if you want to know something else about Warframe, like, most of the plot is just, like, it's just because of, like, the Organs fuck-ups. Like, 90% of their fuck-ups. Like, for instance, since the drones they sent to Tal kind of decided, okay, if the Organ come here, they're gonna fuck it up like Earth. They're gonna fuck it up like the Origin system. Let's go kill them.
Okay, so mycelial, Brett, is literally just fungus. It's the...
Yeah.
So when they entered into the mycelial network, they were literally in fungus land.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Nocturnal, what you're talking about with the AI and whatnot, that sounds... I've been dipping my toes into a game called X4 Foundations.
I have that game, I think.
And one of the major plot points is there's an artificial intelligence race called the Xenon. And apparently the Xenon were intelligent machines that humanity has sent out to terraform planets.
Oh, and they just figured. Oh, they did the same thing. Where they figured out. Okay, they're gonna fuck it up when they get here. Let's go back and kill them.
Yeah, now, granted, X4, I think the X series has been around longer than Destiny, so...
I was sorry, this is a Warframe. This is Warframe.
Yeah, so, okay. Okay, so yeah, X series has been around longer than Warframe.
Yeah.
Series from, like, the 90s?
What?
Yeah, and the thing about the robots, the sentients, yes, they're called that. They self-replicate. For reproduction. So it's just like once they cross back to the void, they can't do that. They kind of can't. So it's just then it becomes the problem of, oh shit, we can't fix ourselves. Oh well, let's just kill the organ. Let's just attack the organ anyways. And it's just like the organ then come up with a plan to, and I'm not joking here, decide to create a plague that infests machines and organic people, called the infestation. Yeah, that backfires.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and it's like the flood, where it's just a sentient, where it's a hive mind, yet not as smart as a flood, but still as smart, but still kind of smart.
Right.
Like because there's things in the game called Cephalons, which are just AI, except they're made for people. Don't ask me how. That's a complicated answer. Because it's not simply as uploading your consciousness to making your consciousness into data. No. They use a red liquid for that shit. They make you drink a red liquid, or they turn you into glass, or they glass you, and then extract your consciousness. It's an entire process that isn't bloody clear that much when it comes to glassing people, but yeah, it's called a cephalon, and infestation, like I've said, can infest machines. So, yeah, they can infest cephalons. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, the infestation the infestation plan backfires. Don't worry, the Orc can have a plan. Don't worry, the Orc can use the infestation to create, to test on people. They create something called the helmet strain, because there's multiple strains of the infestation, because it's a virus. Because, weirdly enough, it's a virus. Or it's an organic plague. I'm pretty sure it's the latter. And other infestations.
What the fuck now? What the...
Strains crop up like some other ones. I'm not gonna get to that today because I won't. But so what they do is they take the helmet strain, just use it on let's just say willing subjects in air quotes. Test it on humans that they abduct from places like Mars and so on, and Mercury and so on and so forth. And it's just like, and then they create warframes. Yeah, thing about that, they don't work either. They kind of are unguided and savage. And also kind of fucked up in the head.
I will say, I think my favorite weird science fiction thing I ever saw, well, not weird, was just interesting. I've seen quite a few science fiction shows. Like, I've seen the original Battlestar Galactica. I've seen the remake, which I'd like infinitely less.
Really?
Yes. I've seen Babylon 5. I love Babylon 5.
Okay.
I've also seen Stargate, both the original movie and the 2 series.
3.
Oh, there's a third one?
Yeah.
Aren't you talking about Stargate Atlantis or something?
Well, yeah, SG-1, you have Atlantis, and you have Discovery.
Oh, I've never seen
or the Destiny. I can't remember. Discovery, Destiny, something like that.
I'm only
No. Oh, wait, no. universe. Stargate Universe is what it's called.
I've only seen SG-1 in Atlantis.
I just know Christopher Judge is in Atlantis.
Yes.
Well,
I love Christopher Judge.
No, Christopher Judge was not in Atlantis.
Oh,
he
was
had
actually fun.
Yeah, Christopher Judge was in SG-1. He did have some guest starring roles in Atlantis, where he showed up a few times, but he was not a permanent cast member. Jason Momoa was in Atlantis.
You know, that's honestly ironic considering he plays Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I have no idea what Stargate's about, other than they find the gates. It's just some like Atlantis.
Okay. Now it's time for me to dump some lore. Okay, so the Stargates were created by a race of ancient humans known as the Ancients. They're also known as the Alterans. They originate.
But of course,
they originate from the Pegasus galaxy.
What the? Okay, these were weird.
They arrived on Earth and they set up a series of Stargates. They create artificial wormholes. Each gate has an address based upon its position in the galaxy. They use star coordinates to triangulate where its position is. It's a dialing. You literally call it essentially, and it establishes a one-way wormhole from the point of origin to the destination.
I see. I wonder how they got wiped out. Oh wait, this entire system backfired.
No. Actually, no. They didn't get wiped out. They ascended and became energy.
How? Of fucking course they have.
So later on, another race though discovered the wormhole. It discovered the Stargate network called the Goa'uld. The Goa'uld are a parasitic life form. They embed themselves in the humans and take them over as hosts, granting them enhanced physical abilities. They literally have not really developed any of their own technology. They literally stolen just about every single piece of technology they have and made it themselves. They also set themselves up as gods. So all the ancient gods from Earth mythology were most of them were Goa'uld.
With the exception of the Norse.
I was getting to that. I was getting to that. That's why I said most. So that's why the first Stargate movie involved primarily Egyptian mythology, because Ra was a Goa'uld. Now,
does that imply Zeus actually banged multiple people?
Zeus was a Goa'uld, I believe. As a lot of the Greek gods were Goa'uld. I don't think they ever brought up Zeus specifically in the series. Actually, I'm pretty sure they never did. But so as Igrid mentioned, the gods of Nordic mythology are essentially the Greys.
The Grey Aliens.
Yes, they are the Grey Aliens. They originate from another galaxy called the Ida Galaxy, and they are known as the Asgard. They are highly advanced technologically, and they're way more advanced than the Goa'uld are, and they have fought the Goa'uld on a few occasions. They have certain planets they protect from the Goa'uld. Earth was not one of them originally, but they eventually did create a treaty where Earth became a protected planet, so the Goa'uld cannot attack it directly. Because the Goa'ulds have spaceships, we don't. At least not earlier on in the series. Earth does eventually begin to develop its own spaceships.
Also, by the time Stargate, I think it's SG-1, is around, the Asgardians are basically on the decline because they've been fighting their own version of the Flood called the Replicants.
No, they're called the Replicators. They're artificial life form, but it's not just that. The Asgard are all clones.
Oh.
And as
that's bad.
they can no longer reproduce naturally, since they have modified their genome to the point where they lost that ability. So they are clones of clones of clones, and you get the rate of diminishing return. So their species is on the decline, and they do eventually go extinct. However, not before passing on all of their knowledge to humanity.
Us.
Yeah, to humans. Because they deemed us at that point worthy to have it. Then of course, the humanity does eventually prevail over the Goa'uld, and they become a minor power in the galaxy. Then the Ori happen.
Oh no, they sound worse. Why do they sound worse?
The Ori. Think about the worst aspects of Judeo-Christian, of Abrahamic religions.
Oh no!
Put it on crack.
Oh
no, it's the Imperium.
Essentially, so as I mentioned, you have the ancients who are ascended. Apparently, there was a schism between this group and another group called the Ori, who saw themselves as gods, since they're so powerful, and wanted humans to worship them, and they got power from being worshipped. So they set themselves up. Yeah. The ancients over on our side of things managed to block our galaxy from their detection, until Daniel Jackson and Vala accidentally ended up on their side of the border, and they became aware of us, and they sent gigantic motherships over through a gigantic Stargate from their galaxy over to invade our galaxy. And initially, they started kicking our ass.
How the fuck do you fight against entry beings?
They had the later seasons delved heavily into Arthurian mythology.
Oh, of course they have.
And specifically the Sangreal, which apparently was created by Merlin, who was himself also an ancient who took on mortal form to fight against the Ori. It gets complicated, but essentially the Sangreal was a device that was meant to kill ascended beings. It was a WMD.
Shit, I would just trap them into a fucking lamp.
So they had to create the Sangreal, send it through the Stargate into the Ori's galaxy to destroy them all, which they did, except for one thing. The Ori had created themselves a mortal vessel to use, an avatar, so to speak.
Oh, of course they did.
And when all the Ori were killed, all of that spiritual energy, all that worshiping power, got transferred to her.
Oh no!
So she became a walking, living god.
Let me guess. Her name was Lilith.
No. Her name was not Lilith. Her name.
Dad on her nose.
No.
Okay.
Her name was Adria, played by Marina Barbican.
God, that sounds like the most ridiculous.
Okay, so she's actually she's been in quite a few things. She's been in Deadpool. She was Deadpool's love interest in the first movie. Anyway, so after that, they had to create the Ark.
Oh no!
Because the Ark, yeah, it delves into Arthurian and Christian mythology. So what the Ark did was it would reveal the truth to people, and they hit one of the high priests with it, which spread the truth of what the Ori actually were, because all they're called priors. They're all like symbiotically linked to each other via like a network. And they all became aware of what the truth was, and Adria lost all the power she was getting from her worshippers and became a lot easier to handle.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Yeah, so things got a little bit weird, and I died again. Son of a bitch! This level is kicking my ass.
Oh, you didn't even mention the rates.
I was talking about Stargate SG-1 specifically, not Atlantis.
Okay.
Oh,
There's another group in Atlantis called the Wraiths, who are basically like space vampires.
Oh, yeah, no, I kind of got that because if you put Wraith in anything sci-fi, it usually means they're going to be like vampires or some shit.
The thing is, though, they are a lot like vampires. Yeah, they absorb life energy from people with their hands.
Oh, I see. You can't. Oh, I see. I guess hand jobs are at the table then.
Also, they go into hibernation every 500 or 5,000 years.
The reason why they do that is they eventually call their galaxy of life, and then they hibernate and let the galaxy repopulate. The problem was in Stargate Atlantis, they got woke up early.
Right.
Oh no! What the fuck? Who the fuck? Which idiot woke them up?
That'd be the Stargate team.
You know, humanity.
Fucking what the fuck were they looking for in Atlantis? A giant coffin?
Well, no. See, Atlantis itself. So the ancients had these gigantic cities that they had built. They're also doubled as spaceships.
And Atlantis was one of them.
Atlantis was one of these space traveling cities that was on. They could also land on planets. So they.
Oh yeah. I think I've heard of something similar to this. Who the hell joined us?
I have a good.
Oh, hey, Diplo. So. I think it was Diplo. Is that who? Yeah, it is Diplo.
Yes, it is I.
Yeah.
The great Umbreon of the sky.
So. Okay, so when the Stargate team went to Atlantis, it was really low on power. So they had to send. It had been sitting there for so long, it was almost completely out of power, and it was underwater. And the only thing protecting it was an energy shield.
I see. No one changed the batteries.
Yes, essentially. Yeah. So they went out in the local galaxy area to try and find a replacement power source. And that's how they stumbled upon the Wraith and inadvertently woke them all up.
Why the oh god. Oh fuck.
But it turns out the city had a safety protocol that when power reached a certain point, it would ascend back up to the surface.
Oh, that's convenient. Also, nice to meet you, Diplo.
I am the great and powerful Umbreon of the sky.
Okay, I'm not.
I am very glad that just the entirety of our friends group is nothing but massive fucking nerds.
Don't worry. Nope. There's no nerds here.
Oh, no, I'm just signed, because it's just like, I mean, I kind of fall into that category, but I kind of don't, somehow. That's weird.
I love being a nerd.
So, okay, just to cut you off from Stargate talk, Talsar, because, okay, that's a lot. That sounds like a lot.
Hey, wait. Remember that Stargate, the TV series, starts by fridging one of the main character's wives because they needed to write a reason why he wants to fucking come back to Earth.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, because in the original Stargate movie, he stayed on the Egyptian planet.
Yeah, and was bonking the lady there, and they kill her in the first episode.
What the fuck?
Because they need to explain why he wants to come back.
Why the fuck didn't he just decide? I want to show the person I'm banging my whole planet. Why don't I bring her with me?
He didn't want anybody coming to the Stargates, and if he did, it's the American government. Do you trust the American government?
No.
Why the fuck is what? Wait, hold on a fucking minute. What the fuck do you mean it's the American government? Why are they in
Okay.
Twice
Oh yeah. That's because
Because
the
they are the ones
Stargate.
that have
Because,
access
hold
to
on.
the
Wait.
Stargate.
Yeah. The
Also, the
Stargate program was
working.
ran. The Stargate program was ran by the Air Force.
Why the fuck isn't it ran by the UN?
Because
the U.S. is hiding it from everybody.
yeah, the U.S.
God
was
damn
hiding. Yeah. The U.S. Kept it a secret from the international community for a long time.
Technically,
This is how you call-
if you actually look into the canon, Canada knew the entire time. It just
Of
didn't
fucking
tell
course
anybody.
we did. Of
Which
fucking
is
course we did.
one of my favorite things is that in any like conspiracy theory show or anything, there's so many of them. Like Delta Green expressly has a thing of Delta Green says, "Don't go to Canada," and when asked why, the response for Delta Green agents is, "We don't go there because their task force is more efficient." And all we know is that the Delta Green equivalent in Canada has successfully killed one of the Elder Gods.
Wow.
Yeah.
We just
Because-
know they didn't just like knock out one of its forms. They full on killed one, and that's all we know about it.
Look, we don't tend to half-ass stuff, okay? Not
I'm
even when it's,
aware. I'm a
not even when
Canadian
it's, not even when it's morally wrong. And you know what I'm talking about.
too. Hey! Those schools were totally.
The fuck?
I can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah, don't say that. Hell, don't say what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say. Because it's bad. Because it's because of a holiday. Because it's now a holiday. Because of it, we have a
It's
holiday.
really bad.
Yes, and we somehow got a holiday out of it.
Think of it this way: I'm part Native American, so you better not.
Yay.
I mean, are we really going to sit here and compare the sins of our respective countries?
Hey,
When this shit happened,
America
what was
did
it?
it just as much as Canada, to be fair.
We stopped in the 80s, but
Yeah, that's also when America stopped. They both stopped in the 80s.
No, America stopped in the 70s.
No, they
Okay.
did not actually. Despite their claims that they did, they actually didn't stop till the 80s. Thank you, Utah.
Okay. Utah. Because
Okay.
if everything bad wants to happen, it's probably either Florida.
It's like the Utah National Guard still honors the traditions of their founding legion, whose first and primary conflict was assassinating and genociding a native group coming through the region of
Okay.
Utah.
Okay, you know how I like to think of it? Canada's just America on speedrun.
That's not an
That's not
accomplishment
true.
you want to have under
That's not
your.
true. Also,
I mean-
not true.
I mean, yeah, in most respects, yeah, it isn't.
How dare you say that about your own country? How dare you? So
Okay, here's the thing.
You deserve the ultimate punishment.
Here's the thing, I'm not from Ontario, though.
Okay.
Oops, damn! I thought the thing was dead. Son of a bitch.
Where are you from? Like, I guess you
Oh.
could be from
No,
one of the.
Oh, past the Rockies.
Okay. Okay.
So, Montreal?
No, that's the other way.
That is the opposite end. That's past Manitoba.
Yeah. Also, Montreal is Quebec, and if it was Quebecois, then me and him would already be fighting.
Yes, because unless you're from Quebec, unless you have relatives in Quebec, or no people in
No,
Quebec.
even if you have relatives in Quebec, you fucking hate Quebec.
Yeah,
The
it's
Quebecois are fucking bitches who still like to complain about, well, we had a bunch of people have to be excised. Yes, because they tried to commit war crimes. For some reason, you don't understand that. Or there was the whole issue when the Montreal mayor was trying to instigate a rebellion against the Canadian government during World War II for the
Fun fact.
exact reason
fun fact. The
that
only
he wanted
political
to join the Nazis.
and weirdly enough, the only political assassination in Canadian history happened in Quebec.
Yeah, it's Quebec.
If it makes you feel any better, you can make fun of me because my family comes from Quebec.
By God. But yeah, no, the main reason I don't like Quebec is mostly because if you have a party that's trying to leave, but yet it's a federal party, what the fuck are you doing? It's just like they have no plan. You have no plan. Why do you do this?
Listen,
Because it's Quebec, and everyone hates Quebec.
listen.
The French-speaking assholes of Canada.
No. French-speaking assholes of the world. Let's be very clear here. Quebecois and Quebecers speak a language that is 200 years out of date with the rest of the French-speaking world.
Oh, I know.
Do remember everyone in Canada has to learn some French in elementary school.
Fuck that. Look, I don't remember any of it. I did.
Unfortunately, I do.
I should have took her. And I punched the French and I went, die!
I should have took either Schuschwab or German in high school.
And the other thing is that the Quebecers are absolute assholes. Even if they speak English, they will be assholes to you and not listen to you if you're trying to order in it.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain. Which is,
like they're bad people.
Like I said, you can make fun of my ancestry because, despite it being, my ancestry is weird because my ancestors are both Spaniards and French.
I mean, I was going to go the best thing out all this.
Mostly my.
What the fuck is that?
Coincidentally, despite being Spaniard, I can't eat cilantro.
Oh no.
Nerd.
Okay. Diplo, before I answer your question of where I'm from in Canada, where are you from?
I'm going to give you a hint. Newmarket.
What the fuck is that?
I'm not going to tell you anymore. You can figure out where Newmarket is.
Oh, New Brunswick.
What, you don't like New Brunswick?
No, it just sounds like something from New Brunswick.
I used to know a person from New Brunswick. They weren't nice.
It's not from New Brunswick. Though, to be fair, I could have been from Prince Edward Island had I come on time, because that's where my parents were going for a vacay when I was going to be born. So I came early.
Right,
so they were at home. So I won't say what province I'm from, but Prince Edward Island should give you a hint.
Yes, okay, Nova Scotia.
Could be worse.
But also, the final thing is, the big thing is, remember this. The rest of Canada accepts and is trying to do better after all of its horrible things that it did. Quebec is the only people to deny that the schools were bad.
Okay, Okay, my answer is, I'm from British Columbia.
Yeah, everyone, it's pretty obvious. You said past the Rockies.
Yeah, but that would only give you two answers. Either the Yukon or that.
Yeah, but
the Yukon.
Territory, so it doesn't count.
I mean,
and you're not named Yvonne, so...
Oh, come on.
There's a show...
Why would that even apply?
Yvonne of the Yukon.
Yvonne?
What?
Come on, man. You're a Canadian. You should know this.
I'm 20.
Yeah,
I'm 28, and I still know Yvonne of the fucking Yukon.
I don't know that. I don't... Okay, here's the thing. I don't know that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Here, I will link it to you. You have probably seen it on replay sometime in your childhood as some way of a parent wanting to torture you or something. Here you go.
How do I, a person who doesn't live in Canada, know about Yvonne of the Yukon? But you know,
it was all over the place at that time.
I don't know what this. I don't know what this is.
It's a show.
It could be worse. He could not know about Letterkenny, which I think is a national crime.
The thing is,
I've heard of that.
Frenchmen from the 16th century got frozen and gets frozen out and is just living in the Yukon.
Oh, no, I know about Letterkenny. I've seen commercials on TV.
I mean, that would almost be as bad as him not heard about Red Green.
I've also seen that.
No clue what that is.
You don't know what Red Green show is?
No.
You poor fool. He fixes everything with duct tape.
I mean, the only Canadian shows besides Yvonne of the Yukon I know is Letterkenny and Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, that show has perhaps one of my favorite sayings. Is if women don't find you handsome, they'll certainly find you handy.
I've never seen Trailer Park Boys.
I've seen it. I've seen a few episodes of it.
Look, okay, the only Canadian meat I've seen, I is mostly animated stuff, honestly. And it's just like,
Come on, can I get up here?
Look, if you want any reference to where I live, in British Columbia, it's not on the coast. I'm not from the coast.
Wow, I feel bad for you. I think I posted. Did I? Yeah, I posted the video of Life of Boris doing the apple pie.
Which, here's the thing. Which is a good thing because I know how to use a snow shovel.
Yeah, well, of course you did, because you're not from the coast.
Yeah, I also know the importance of snow tires.
Also, make sure to subscribe and watch Life of Boris because it's fun.
I know what. Where's this?
Coincidentally, that reminds me of one of the weirder things I know about living in Louisiana, which is the place I live in, which is why I know for a fact that I'm part Canadian.
French Creole's indecipherable.
Oh, it definitely is. It is one of the more undecipherable languages I have the displeasure of speaking in some degree. And I know too many Creoles.
Well, I'm done with Doom 3 for right now because that level is just kicking my ass.
Okay, I'm playing Lars on PS5. I love how fucking Lars is just hilarious in its own way. Whereas because of the random events, what you can do in the game, like casually be a necromancer, straight up.
I have yet to get any new PS5 games. Granted, I just got the thing like in December for Christmas.
Oh shit! What it come? What it come bundled with?
Christopher Judge is in it.
Oh,
yeah. Yes,
Oh,
I'm playing it right now, and I can't wait till the New Game Plus comes out.
Oh yeah, I've already beat the game. I'm waiting for New Game Plus. You know what game you should try out? It's Horizon Forbidden West. It's actually pretty good.
I've been wanting to play that because I heard it's pretty good. I've yet to get a copy of it.
I swear that is the sweatiest game I played because of how much fucking ducking and rolling you need to do while hunting dinosaurs or hunting robots. Like it's just like holy shit! Fucking run, just quickly shoot it, kill it. Fuck it.
The game I can't wait to come out, and it's coming out in March. Resident Evil 4
remake.
Yes, remake. I can't wait to replay it again and get my ass handed to me by giant bugmen again.
Okay. I'm not gonna play for much Stellaris because I need to focus. Also, I'm kind of bored of playing Stellaris at the moment. I'm just waiting for Overlord DLC to come out. And
you're playing Stellaris on console?
Yeah.
Pleb.
Fucking, my PC is a laptop. That screen does not move.
I have Stellaris. I have yet to get any of the new DLCs, but it's a very fun game to play, even if it's a game that will continuously make you wish for the sweet release of death.
What? Yes, I like Stellaris.
Yeah, it's just insanely. I find it insanely fun because of all the random events, plus the civics you can choose, like again, being a necromancer for no reason.
My favorite thing to do is to set up a galaxy that is specifically designed for me to have the maximum amount of fun, and by maximum amount of fun, I mean to make everyone miserable but me.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Or just play Hive Mind. Just play just consciousness and go for the devouring swarm civic.
The last time I played a xenophilic empire that was essentially like an authoritarian xenophilic empire who was like, listen, we'll give you all the rights in the world after we're done conquering you.
That's being xenophobic.
I can't do xenophobia because it doesn't allow me to create cool cross species that'll destroy my PC's RAM capacity.
I mean, yeah. But I'm also making reference to a song where
I know the song. I've heard it before. Anyone who's ever been on the Stellaris subreddit has heard it a million times.
Yeah. Also, I picked up Dark Souls. I'm continuing back with Dark Souls 3, and I kind of managed to beat the Abyss Walkers today, and then got past the inconvenience known as the giant skelly, in the Abyss. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. And then now I'm on Eurofilm.
I hate it. I hate Dark Souls.
I'm on fucking Pontiff Sullivan.
The guy who has his own stand of himself.
Yes. Yeah, I'm also using the Eurofell straight sword as a main weapon. So that's been fun. Fighting him. Well, okay, because I actually play more. Because I find Elden Ring easier. I managed to, even though everything's fucking faster in that game, I managed to adapt the fucking rolling like a man with that. I guess
I've played all 3 of the Dark Souls games, and I regretted every second of playing them.
Yeah, they're punishing. They're fun, but punishing.
They weren't fun to me. It felt the way I described it to a friend of mine, Tariq, was it felt like I was hitting my head against the wall, and people just kept telling me, eventually it's gonna get fun. And I was like, when? When is the fun part supposed to happen?
After the brain damage.
So
let's see. I got 31 of 48 of those stupid Eyes of Odin.
Oh, yeah, the children.
Yes. Yeah.
The dead children.
Fuck you, Odin.
I gotta say, that is the darkest pit of God. That is the darkest pit of God lore.
I mean, it could be worse. They could have kept that one bit of Loki lore that from the original mythos.
And that he fucks a horse. Yeah, no.
When I told my friend about that, who didn't know anything about Norse mythology, he was like, "You're lying to me," and I was like, "Nope, look it up."
I mean, to be fair, that sounds like something Zeus would do.
Yeah, because Zeus turned into a swan and a bull.
Like the best way I can sum up Greek mythology, like all the stories involved in Greek mythology, can be summed up with this sentence: one day Zeus got horny. That is how every story in Greek mythology starts off. At least most of them start off is that way.
No,
Yeah.
some of them are Zeus got horny.
Some of them are Poseidon got horny.
Yeah, and then there's the one where Demeter got angry. And then thought Zeus was horny.
And it's just like, the entire, and most of the stories have tagline, Hades did nothing wrong.
Yep, because Hades gets blamed for everything, even though of the three brothers, he is probably the smartest one.
He's also the only one without any real myths about him being a dick, except if you're a dick to him first.
Right.
Yeah. So you're saying, like, is Hades the Puerto Rabo of Greek mythology?
Basically.
No, he's kind of.
The thing about Hades is, if you don't piss him off, he'll leave you alone.
I mean, even if you are rude, don't forget, in one version of the myth with Hercules shot him with an arrow. Hades' response was, "Yeah, I don't give a shit." Let Hercules still take Cerberus, and then just kind of was like, "Just bring him back."
Yeah, right. Take a dog for a walk. I'm busy. You shot me. You dickhead.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, most versions are he doesn't get shot, but there's at least one version in one of the Greek city-states where Hercules shoots him. Again, for no reason except that the Greeks were really scared of Hades. So the idea of Hercules shooting him was badass in their books, despite the fact that it was, we're shooting the guy that's nice.
Right. What's funny is in actual Greek mythology, you want to know who of the two who's the scariest one out of the underworld crew? His wife.
Yeah,
Hera.
No. Persephone's definitely worse because Persephone, like Hera, would do shitty things to people, but she was consistent about it and how you avoided it. Persephone looked at Hades' previous side piece, who showed up.
And turned her into a plant.
Yeah, and then drank her.
There's a reason why one of the Persephone's names is Dreaded Persephone.
Whereas Hera, every time Hera fucks with somebody, it's because they knowingly slept with Zeus, who's married to the goddess of marriage. And it's like the only thing. Listen, I get it. If he does something and he forces you, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to punish you. That's actually one of the things that Hera's good about. She doesn't punish women that get forced by Zeus. But if you go along with it, I'm going to ruin your day. Which is part of the reason why when Jason is about to forsake his marriage vows with a certain witch, she takes away her blessing.
Right, because Jason... the tale of Medea is very funny to me if you know anything about Greek mythology, because it is essentially... Because he was Hera's golden boy. He's like, yeah, I like this one. He's not like you, Zeus. And then he decides to cheat on his wife. And then Hera's like, son of a bitch.
Not
even just cheat.
Are you on Steam?
Yeah. I don't have many games on though.
Oh, okay.
Mostly
we can all just hang out in a Steam lobby together and just be like, oh yes, we are all in a Steam lobby together.
I mean, we're chilling out here. It's mostly because my laptop isn't designed for gaming, so the most I can have on here is like something like Hades.
Really?
Yeah, I'm using an Asus.
Same here.
We need French.
Well, no, wait. I use a Inspiron.
And the bad part of mine is the monitor on it is kind of busted, so it doesn't move anymore. Like I cannot physically move it down. Yeah, so it's now kind of stuck in a trolley with lots of bins, with lots of shelving in it, and I'm using an extended keyboard. Also, my mouse is sitting on an Apple Team Reserve and an Apple Team Estate Jamaica rum box.
But yeah, I think one of the weirdest bits of mythology that I've ever learned is just the entirety of there's a lot of weird mythological and religious things that I've learned just from being a person who studied history study history for a living.
Just bring up Maui got Vord.
Who?
Maui. Polynesian mythology, Maui.
Yeah.
He got Vord. Like, he should have got Vord by obsidian vagina teeth.
That isn't fucking real, is it?
No, that's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
That's a real piece of mythology. Look it up. It's very strange.
Yeah. Maui. That's why they just stop at the whole. What the stealing the heart thing is a reference to what his final act is. Is basically, he figured out how to become an immortal or like a true god, etc. Blah blah blah. And the way to do that was to climb through the goddess of death. Basically, reverse your way through her, and if you do that, you can't die.
So he technically got actually reverse birth. That's a different
which
fetish.
Is a type of war, still. There's no war. But the thing was, the reason why it fails is either A, his friends that were there that he was going to take through after him laughed because, what amounts to a woman so big that she's the size of a mountain, and it looks like he's having sex with her, and she's not responding, so they're just laughing at that.
Okay, that's pretty funny to me.
Yeah, that's the part that I think makes it go from being weird to just dick joke.
A lot of mythology is dick jokes.
Listen. Dick jokes are an important aspect of culture.
I think one of my favorite bits of weird mythology is from the Bible. It's part of the story of Jacob.
Oh no, not Jacob.
Oh right, another. Basically someone. Jacob. Some random jackass.
I'm just talking about the time he wrestled an angel and won.
I mean, yeah, of course. Angels can't, of course. Because, have you seen biblically accurate angels? They don't have hands.
Yeah,
but it's heavily implied that that angel was actually not an angel. It was literally God himself in disguise, and he won a wrestling match against God.
Yeah, because God is a wizard. He doesn't have his strength. He doesn't have good strength.
Early Christian mythology is weird. I mean,
it sounds kind of wild because, it's like the thought of, okay, you got a god in a TTRPG setting. They can get bitch slapped by some random motherfucker.
Listen, that's just a part of mythology. Keep in mind that, like, in some versions of the whole Athena versus Arachne, Athena fucking loses, and that's part of the reason she does that. Those are the rare versions where it's, rather than it just being Athena fucking disgusted because Arachne's basically showing her fetish for certain members of Athena's family. Because remember, that's the one that they reference in Overly Sarcastic. That's what they're talking about. Whereas the other where most of the other versions are, where there's one version where rather it's, hey, why did this happen? Well, because Arachne won, and you can't best a god or something because the gods are spiteful.
That kind of makes sense.
Especially the Greek gods, because they were some mean motherfuckers.
Meanwhile, it's really easy to kill the gods in the Mesoamerican thing because baby gods are butterflies.
Yeah, wait, what?
It's a whole thing.
I'm sorry, I've heard of the jaguar rain, but that just sounds kind of fucking ridiculous.
I forgot about the jaguar rain. Because that was one of the ways the world ended in their mythology.
Yeah, they're on the fifth world, and don't forget the best part. That's why they reference it as being the fifth world in Shadowrun. It was a way to reference to that part of mythology, because Shadowrun's always included a big amount of Mesoamerican mythology. That's
what
also
the fuck is Shadowrun?
Shadowrun, the RPG.
Never heard of it.
What?
It's a cyberpunk RPG with magic elements.
Don't play it. It's very, very boring.
It's not boring. It's fun. As long as you have a good GM for it, it's a lot of fun.
I ran a campaign of that for a few years ago.
Okay, here's the thing.
I hated every moment of it.
Well, I've only gone into TTRPGs like 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Oh,
so Shadowrun is really old. All you need to understand is this. Basically, what edition determines what year it happens. Magic comes back, and they already have cybertech stuff because that's how magic works in the setting. And then because magic comes back, anybody that has basically elf DNA in their roots, etc., or orc DNA has their orc and elf DNA reactivate, and they become an elf or an orc, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
And people are now wizards as well, but there's also all the cybertech stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a really good game as long as players are willing to buy in. But it seems like Zygrade is not.
I GM'd the game of it, and I had no fun.
It literally sounds like you're trying to make that movie called Bright work.
Bright? No, people were talking about this. A lot of people assume Bright was initially going to be a Shadowrun movie, considering it's basically the Shadowrun setting minus the cyberpunk elements.
And they just couldn't get the license.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can see how Shadowrun could work and be fun if handled properly. Just
Yeah.
like
It worked. I feel like Shadowrun works better as a video game because I like the Shadowrun video games more than I like the actual RPG itself.
So what was your problem when you were as a player?
Construction complete.
And vice or as a GM, whichever one you were doing.
It was just the general crunch. I don't like games with too much crunch in it.
Unit ready.
okay, I got
Playing a Pathfinder AP podcast.
Unit ready.
You play in a Pathfinder AP podcast. Your words mean nothing, sir.
Unit lost.
It's the kind of crunch I don't like. Okay,
Unit
I
promoted.
played it.
right.
I tried to enjoy it, and I just couldn't. And I'm not going to basically
Lost.
elaborate as to why I hated it.
That's
You're playing. Talsar, you're playing Command and Conquer.
Which one?
I'm actually playing a modded version of Red Alert. This is called Mental Omega.
Okay.
Which Red Alert?
Red Alert 2.
Been captured.
The
the
best
good
one. Yeah, the best one, yeah.
Unit
I
promoted.
can't wait till they do Red Alert 2 and Tiberium Sun remastered.
Unit promoted. Tech
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, this is Mental Omega adds a shit ton to this game.
Alright, I got a question for you. Guys.
Yeah.
Unit promoted.
Okay. Has anyone here heard of Tower God? Yes? No?
Yes. Yeah, it's
No.
great.
Okay. I know. I want to talk about that for a minute because
Construction complete.
Why are
feel
you
like
breaking up so much?
What the fuck? They already have air units out? Oh no, this is the problem. I need to get Guardians out.
He's fucked.
yes.
No, we could be watching a movie, is all I'm saying.
Okay, you know
Who
what?
would
You
we
sound
even watch? I mean, I have access to multiple different streaming services. So,
We can watch Bright.
oh god, no.
Oh God,
I
no.
have access to Disney Plus and HBO Max.
I have seen Bright, I think 3 times now. Once for reviewing it just to do that for myself. Once to troll friends, and a second time to troll people that were also friends but for different reasons. Different trolling.
Diplo. Okay. Since you're
It
doing
reminds me of my favorite thing I did, and I've told Brett about this story, and it is the funniest story ever.
Okay. Can I tell Diplo something first?
Sure,
Yes,
go for it.
What's your question?
Okay. It's not a question. I just need to tell you something. And if I pick a jelly, since you're a fan of Tower God, I should tell you, I do own a physical copy of the first few episodes.
Unit lost.
Oh no, I am not actually jealous.
Promoted.
Okay.
Unit lost.
Because guess what I own?
Promoted.
The first volume of the first 2 copies.
Promoted.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes. Yeah, I found it in chapters.
I also own the DVDs for Love Yuki, if you know that
Unit
manga
I
and
don't.
anime.
Unit
I don't.
Gimmick is you can get powers because the angels are competing over who's going to be God.
God.
Because God is going to retire,
Unit ready.
and they have to give kids superpowers to fight for it. But the rules are the powers have to be something
Unit ready.
does something, such as one kid has the power to, if he puts his hands in his
This sounds like-
pocket.
This sounds like Platinum End.
Yes. If he puts his hands
It
in his
sounds like
pocket,
Platinum End, but I imagine it's much better than Platinum End.
It sounds insanely gimmicky. It's
yeah,
like
that's all the powers are gimmicky. Like that's the entire point. It makes it fun. Because again,
yeah, I
one of
think
the
so.
one of the minor antagonists' powers is the amazing ability of if he puts his hands in his pocket, his forehead becomes hard as diamonds.
Unit
No, I'm just no. I can see where that's. I can see the. I can already see the panels of that. show.
Now the main character's power is the ability to turn trash into trees.
No, god damn! I can see where this is going. He's just gonna chuck a bunch of elm trees at people.
No, that's not what he does at all.
promoted.
He does other things besides chuck elm trees at people.
Promoted.
God damn it! I don't want to know. But yeah, we should definitely watch something.
I mean,
Complete.
yeah, that's why Cast is great. It's something else, but
Cancel.
yeah, there's a lot of other great stuff. his team also includes a character who expressly wants to find hot springs to own a hot spring.
God damn it.
For obvious reasons. And,
Yes, I know that.
Perverted reasons.
Yes, and very
actually,
illegal
no,
reasons.
he wants to own it for therapeutic reasons because
Ugh.
not for the perverted reasons, which is he realizes that later on as somebody points that out, and then he's like, okay, that's a double win then. So
God
he
damn it.
expressly because he thought dowsing worked in the early series, and somebody brings it up that dowsing doesn't work, so he got the power to turn towels into steel, so he could use rolled up towels as dowsing rods.
Oh, and he doesn't use them as blunt objects.
No, he does.
Oh,
That's
good.
the entire point. He just also uses them as dowsing rods until somebody
Because
points
he's an
out
idiot.
dowsing rods don't work.
Oh my god, I can literally see how that power is so fucking useful. You can just wrap something in metal, boom, it becomes a weapon.
Yeah. There's all sorts of other things. There's a ton of great powers like that throughout it.
Yeah.
If you can,
Good.
yeah. There's a kid that one of the bad guys has the ability if he blows bubbles, the bubbles he blows can either A, reverse gravity or multiply gravity on a person.
God, that sounds like some...
This sounds like
that sounds-
JoJo if it was slightly less weird.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It sounds like JoJo.
Because stands are essentially the same thing where they can be either the most broken, overpowered, weird shit ever, or the most benign shit ever. Yet, you know what's funny? The most broken powers are usually the ones that are very simple.
Yeah, like stopping time.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about that. Like there's a stand in part 8, I think, that
It's a
nearly
kick-off.
kills the main character, and the only thing is, it's a guy who, if there's a hole in your body, he can fuck with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
the same
yeah.
power as what Justice was from part 3, except Justice required the target to they have air, etc. They're the
Right.
same power, more or less, but Justice also could be used on more people, etc., and had a bunch of other benefits.
And then
Right.
then it's just like, fucking part 3, it's just like, yeah, no, there's just the stand that's just straight up a gun. Like, it just shoots
Yeah.
bullets.
Yeah,
It does
it's
nothing.
good.
And you know what's funny? If it was held by any other person besides Whole Horse, it would be the most broken stand ever.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's such a coward that it becomes useless.
Like, imagine if Mista had the Emperor.
Oh god. Oh no. Holy shit.
No, you're forgetting who we should totally give it to. We should give it to the person that would be that is very reliable. Koichi needs a gun, is what I'm saying.
It's not need a gun.
Just imagine Koichi with a gun.
Oh god, no.
It's like the
Okay.
Marion Pippin meme. Because just imagine Koichi just straight up shoots Kira. Just-
Okay. Alright, has anyone here seen Chainsaw
What the
Man?
fuck?
No, I'm
don't
not seeing
watch
Chainsaw Man. I don't really
because
intend to
of the
ever
fact
see it.
that the creator is too blatantly open about
What
his
the
fucking
fuck
horniness.
this shit?
I'm
Is-
open about his what?
The creator Chainsaw Man is too openly horny about the fact that he wants women to step on him, and that's the entire design reason for behind Makima.
I mean,
it could be worse.
yeah, it could be worse.
I mean, I'm not saying it could be worse. I'm just saying that here's the thing: it makes it like it's the difference between like when somebody asked Oda why do all the characters have big titties, and his response was, "Big titties are the dreams of men across the world."
Also because his wife has big tits.
Yes, I know. I'm the one that told you that.
I mean, okay, here's the thing.
Because his wife was a Nami cosplayer.
Okay, just to be fair, lots of creators are weird like that. Like,
Yeah,
for
but
example,
here's the thing.
Yoko Taro.
Yeah, there's other. Yeah, you can bring up Yoko Taro. Everyone knows he's weird. I'm saying that Chainsaw Man's creator's weirdness is the entire reason for the design of his series. And when you think about that, and you think about the fact that he is 100% hard when he writes chapters that roll over Makima, it makes it real weird.
You do realize she doesn't make it to part 1, right?
I'm aware what happens to Makima, yes.
It's fucking
I have not read Chainsaw Man, and I don't intend to ever watch it or read it.
Makima is actually a devil. That's the big reveal.
No, I was about to say, it's actually kind of disgusting what happens. Gosh, it's kind of mind-nauseating.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't make the other part of what I said. She's a devil is a thing too.
Yeah. Also, going back to our Tower God, I find the most hilarious thing about that series, guns exist, and they're fucking pointless.
Well, yeah, it's like any of those weird Chinese/Korean animes that have been coming out recently that are all the crazy wushu, wuxia fantasy ones that have been coming out, and the main character is the poor kid with insane power levels, but but no one else knows yet. Blah blah.
Oh my
blah.
god, that reminds me of this. There's this. I gotta find it.
There's like a dozen of those, and like all of them range in quality. The only one I've actually watched all the way through was the one where he has the ability to buy fruits because he gets an inventory.
Oh god, that sounds weird. Yeah.
It's no weirder than The Gamer, which is the Korean manhwa where the main character gets an XP bar, etc. And by doing quests and stuff, he can unlock things. At first, he thinks it's a level up system, but then he realizes that it's a
Health bar.
Well, also he realizes he has a health bar, but it's actually a stat growth system. So if he trains in one particular thing, his skill in it will go up. Even if he's just swinging a bat against a wall for several hours, it will eventually increase his ability to use baseball bats as weapons.
Oh god, that reminds me of one of the few good animes I've seen recently. Called Beaufry, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah,
Beaufry.
I like Beaufry. Shut up.
What? Why? You do not take pain in this. What the fuck is your problem?
Because it's nice and bubbly, and I don't want to deal with bullshit like Chainsaw Man that's full of blood, guts, and gore.
Listen, to be fair to Beaufry, let's be very fair here. Beaufry is cute. The issue with Beaufry is the fact that because it blazes through things so quickly, our main character, it's the thing with a bunch of other isekai shit. It's not
even an isekai, though.
I mean, it's not a full-on isekai, but it's in that same realm of what power levels we're dealing with the main protagonist. That power level scaling is so ridiculously high at this point for our main character that combat is not a threat. She beat the strongest character in setting there, which is part of the issue, is that there's no challenge anymore, and we have no reason to worry. It's the difference between like why Rise of the Shield Hero works, because Rise of the Shield Hero expressly has the character struggle, etc. It's, compared to that new one that's coming out where the plot is the protagonist buys all the hero team members party as mothers from a slave market somehow.
Oh my god, me and Brett were talking about that earlier!
Oh god, not that. I just... Why?
Well, listen. He's a good guy because he's going to free them eventually.
Not take into account the fact that at one point in the light novel that it's based off of, he sold a 12 or 11-year-old girl to an old man to get his wife.
Wait. You're going to have to explain? Well, you're going to have to explain that. 2, what? 3, explain. 4,
okay.
Explain now or I'm going to hurt you.
Okay, so in the plot, that world, it is mentioned that women past a certain age are non-desirable.
Oh,
that age is apparently 15.
Oh yeah. It's based on crazy old stuff with like Christmas cake shit. You know, like the fact that in Japan, if you're not married by 30, you're considered an old wench. That's a thing in Japan still.
Yeah, but in this world, it's even worse.
Okay, why is this not showing up in the window?
Because, like I said, the age upon which that they consider women non-viable is 15.
To be fair,
Please kill me.
I want to be very clear here. I'm not defending this, but I would like to point out that just sounds like historical Japan at this point.
Well, unfortunately, we're not dealing with historical Japan. We're dealing with modern day times, and I don't care. It's very weird. It's not the weirdest.
It's not weird. I'm saying that it just sounds like a way to explain the fact that he wants the main character to be into MILFs without everyone else being like, hot damn, these women are hot. And by making it so that the entire culture is that's still fucked up and weird. I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
I mean, it could be. I've seen much worse. Like, there's another manga. Well, yeah. there's a manga.
Man.
Here's the thing. I'm talking about worse in a form of it started out okay, and then it dropped the ball so fucking hard that I was like, oh god, no, why?
Okay, you're gonna have to be more specific. There's a lot like that.
Okay, so still Chainsaw Man. Got it.
No, not Chainsaw Man. This is not Chainsaw Man. This is a manga called is a woman who is 30 is a 30-year-old. Fuck, what is it?
30-year-old virgin. 30-year-old virgin.
No.
30-year-old virgin. Yes.
Fuck.
Yes. 30-year-old virgin, because it's like 40-year-old virgin, but Japanese. Because being a 30-year-old woman being a virgin is a sin. It's truly the worst sin.
No, it's essentially a manga. There's two mangas like it. There's this one, and there's one that's much better, in my opinion.
Are you gonna say the name yet or not? Like, I'm waiting.
I can't remember the other one. I can tell you the one I actually
already, bitch.
Okay, so it's a dude who is in his like 18, 19 years old, and he wants to date a woman who's 30 years old and already has a kid.
Hot.
Okay, so there's two mangas that have that exact premise. One of them is good, the other one is horrible. The good one is called I Want Your Mother to Be With Me, which is much better, and I highly recommend it. The other one is called Is a Woman Who's in Her 30s Good for You, and that one has the main character literally grow up a 12-year-old.
It's saying something dumb. You have that moment where you're just going to say something dumb and you're just like, no. Brains.
It could be. At least it isn't as bad as this other one I read called Gal Cleaning, which got axed, and so the creator went insane and created what was known as the Endless Eights.
Oh no!
Endless Eights?
Oh no! Oh no! Fuck!
So essentially, apparently his contract was when his story got axed, he had only up to 2 more chapters to go before he literally couldn't complete the manga itself.
Oh, this is Scott. I know what you're talking about.
When you said Endless Eight, I was just thinking of Haruhi Suzuki.
Yeah,
Endless Eight arc, which is the summer arc, which in the light novel, in the anime, it's not great, but in the light novel, it's actually super great because there's all sorts of times where you see the characters noticing the variations, etc.
Well, the reason I called it they called it the people who watched it, who read it, called it the Endless Eight, is because it started at chapter 8 and just kept going to 8.91, 8.92, 8.93, 8.96.
Okay, so that's not nearly as bad. Like, that just sounds like a way to say fuck you.
It was essentially the guy. Basically, his contract didn't cover extra chapters. So he could make as many extra chapters as he wanted to. And so he made like 9 extra chapters. And the entirety of these extra chapters were centered around one character who we didn't even meet at this point getting sexually assaulted.
Huh?
And keep in mind that the plot of this manga was that a nerdy dude was teaching a gal, gyro gal or whatever, how to clean her house.
Confusion? Like, does it involve cleaning supplies? Is that why that happens? Like, is this just one of those like weird cleaning supply fetish things?
No, it was so weird. I don't remember all of it because I dropped out by about chapter 8.4, and I was like, I'm done with this bullshit.
Okay. So do you guys want to pick someone to watch or no?
Yeah,
Oh,
I got access to a bunch of stuff we can watch.
Yeah.
I have.
If you guys
I have
want,
access to.
if we do watch something, I am not going to stream it. I mean, for copyright
Yeah,
reasons.
That's fine. I don't think we were going to stream. Yes, no.
No,
go
that'd be
stream
weird.
it.
That'd be
Stream
weird.
it so your YouTube channel can get terminated.
Yeah.
Yes, terminate your channel that's under 200 subscribers. Definitely a good plan.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm going to be playing Carmageddon Reincarnation.
Oh,
but
Dipple, I have an idea. I have a perfect idea. Let's introduce Zygarde here to the Tower of God anime.
how about you not?
Oh,
No,
don't
he
worry.
doesn't want to watch that. We're going to introduce him to something far better. We're going to introduce him to the greatest anime of all time. He's going to
Okay.
learn how to be a man via Baki.
I'm
I
sorry,
watched
what?
Baki already.
Oh,
Baki,
yeah,
I've
too.
seen Baki too. Baki is okay. The story is entertaining. I like the animation style, but the art style is just really fucking weird.
You know what I always found funny about Baki? The guy
What,
who
John?
created it, his daughter created the best furry manga ever.
Oh yeah, I know. She
Oh,
currently
right behind.
All this talk about furries and stuff and all these other things, including bad ones, has reminded me of something important. And that something is the fact that there is out there somewhere in the world a yaoi manga which involves the main character debating on if they are going to do an injection that will let them have M-preg.
Please,
So they-
God, no.
Nope. That's already a fiction genre itself. Don't,
Yeah, no, wait, I can make it better and worse. The thing
No,
is you have to become a werewolf.
Diplo. No.
That's already bad enough. I know ABO shit already.
Oh God, you do. Oh, you do too. Fuck.
Yes.
Oh, you've heard of that shit too. God damn it.
Uh-huh. I even saw the Lindsay Ellis video about it, which was the greatest thing ever.
Okay, fuck it. Diplo, Zygarde. Okay, we gotta pick something real quick to change topic. Fuck it.
How about we watch My Ex Family? I love that show.
What?
Friggin'.
You like Spy X Family?
No.
I have not seen that one. I've not seen that at all.
You should totally see it and go read the manga. It is great, and Anya is the cutest character in the world. And anyone who says otherwise, I will come to your house and kick your ass.
Okay, don't do that.
But again, have you seen Spriggan?
Yes, I have.
Fuck,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember Spriggan. Because I might have seen it.
Spriggan, i.e. National Treasure, but anime.
Oh, no, then I'm not.
Or National Treasure. It's been. The anime is just new because they just decided to redo the anime. Also,
Yeah.
Dorohedoro is a really good anime.
Yeah, I've seen
I've
that
seen
one.
most of that.
But yeah, I
and-
still can't get over. That doesn't remind me of the fact so I find it funny that two furry things I know of have people who are related to it who you would not expect it. Like, for instance, do you know what Markiplier's brother makes?
No.
Second Taylor, whatever it is, I can't remember the name.
Two kinds.
Yeah, two kinds. Thank you. See, I
So-
have the rough name.
Markiplier's brother is shit. I forget what his actual
One of the
name is.
most famous furry webcomics ever.
Right.
Something Fishbach.
I know Mark's name is Mark Fishbach.
Right.
And I can't remember his brother's name.
The two kinds has been
I
literally
don't
out
think
since
he
2002.
doesn't really talk about his brother that much. So
Tom. His name is Tom.
Yeah. Here's a link to the webcomic. Been out for 19 years.
Yep. and it even mentions on the Two Kinds wiki, Tom's younger brother, Mark Fishbach, just by under a year, is a famous YouTube celebrity under the username Markiplier,
Come on.
which explains the smash or pass video he made about Pokemon.
Yes, yes, you can tell the family resemblance.
Listen. The answer to the question of why the Smash or Pass video exists is because yes. No questions will be asked. Now then, anyway, Smash or Pass, Charmander.
No,
Okay.
not human enough.
Okay.
Coincidentally, I write furry stuff, so yeah.
Stop with your degeneracy. Go back to your pit.
I don't live in a pit.
Go back to your pit, Phil. Furry Phil.
Okay, what if none of us see that we can watch?
Has anybody watched? Because I haven't watched yet. Sane Manos or
I've
seen it.
I've seen that. That's a good one. That came out last year, I think. That came out a while ago.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. There's also that new one, The Exception thing on Netflix. Exception. Exception. Netflix.
Yeah, I know, but what the fuck's Exception?
It's anime. It's super sci-fi. They have 3D printed bodies, etc.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Isn't that
We could just watch a classic and go fuck up our minds and watch Neon Genesis Evangelion.
New
I mean-
standards here, sir.
Yes,
Hey, I have standards too, and I love Neon Genesis Evangelion.
You know,
Except
the
End of
weirdest,
Evangelion.
you know, the weirdest anime movie I've seen would be fucking 3D Horror Lock one.
Okay, yeah. I've seen that one too.
That's just some fucking. It just looks like a Final Fantasy cutscene.
Damn it.
Like straight up.
Oh, has anybody here seen the Mesa Reborn movie?
No.
Yeah, and also you can just stream from Discord.
Yeah, but then you don't get that, but fair enough. I also just wanted like that. Has anyone seen Altered Carbon re-sleeved?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm making suggestions here, okay?
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Fucking
it is.
sweet.
I know.
There's a bunch of stuff I would love to watch because I don't have access to Netflix anymore.
Go on and watch Cyberpunk.
No.
I saw it.
Edge Runners is amazing, but I don't want to rewatch it right now.
Okay, we could always just watch terrible anime if we want it.
There's so many good anime options.
But
And there's also so many trash anime options.
Yeah, like High Guardian Spice.
We could
I have no opinion of that because I've never watched it.
We could also watch the good seasons of Seven Deadly Sins.
So the first one?
So the first two?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Fuck
first
it.
two. Because
Fuck it,
the
man.
animation quality fucking died for some goddamn reason.
Let's just watch the first two then. Alright, let's go. It's
Oh
fun.
god, I didn't even like Seven Deadly Sins, and I know a person who liked that shit so much.
I liked it.
I like the first actually.
Fucking great.
Yeah, the
The
story.
problem is
and again-
that the animation fucking dies for some reason in
just-
season 3.
Yeah, it's just the animation that's the problem. The story's good. It's just it's the animation.
The animation's okay in the first 2 seasons. Then it kills itself in the 3rd season. It's like,
Well, what happened to the budget? Yeah, no, let's just watch 7 Deadly Sins and watch Zygarde suffer.
I have suffered I have suffered many times in my life.
Also,
Because I'm also one of.
Also, if you're wondering
I'm
what
one of
High
those-
Guardian, if you're wondering what High Guardian Spice is, it's that thing that Crunchyroll made that ended up being the worst piece of shit ever.
honestly,
Like I
you can
said,
watch
I
that
have not watched it, and
Oh.
and I don't really have any intention to watch it.
Listen, all you need to understand is to try and make sure that there would be no criticisms of it. This is without a doubt that this is an actual statement. The part of the way to avoid having any criticism, they're like, we're gonna make as many of the people trans and gay as possible. So if you're against it, that means you're being anti-trans, anti-gay. Now, of course, there's also a bunch of anti-trans, anti-gay people that are hating on it as well, and are using that as an excuse to hate on it when it's actually bad. But the thing is, it's bad, and it's using that as a cover. and it shows because it's bad. The animation's terrible.
How many fucking tabs do you have open?
I have a healthy amount of tabs.
No.
What are you talking about?
That is not a healthy amount of tabs.
Okay, listen, I can close this one. Is this better?
We both share shit. No,
Is this better? Do you want to watch Talsar?
God, no, I don't want to see him customize cars. It hurts my eyes.
So I just wanted to point out that one of those tabs was just Talsar, but also listen. This is a Patreon link because this is the only Patreon I'm subscribed to.
All right, guys, I'm going to go end the stream because it looks like we're going to go watch something. But I don't know. This stream kind of became a big mess, so we'll see how things go. For anyone who is going to watch this, thank you for suffering through this with me. I don't know. I need to figure out what I want to do here with this stream I want to do. So this is still a work in progress. So